Oh my goodness. I told you it gets messy. I'm Melissa Case. I've been sewing historically inspired costumes for nearly a decade, but I'm still pretty new to the 18th century. With my limited experience, I'm going to test out 3 recipes and a hairstyle from American Duchess's Guide to 18th Century Beauty. Just remember, this is a review, not a tutorial, because I might not be doing this right. Hi, I'm Melissa Case from Hat to Hem, and this big mess means that today we are making hair powder. I'm actually making 2 different kinds of hair powder today. I am making the white hair powder, and I have a lot of that. I also have the Mareschal Powder. It's tinted brown and scented, and when you smell it, it smells like every single Christmas store I've ever been in. Now, I made both recipes using the 18th Century Beauty book from American Duchess. It was incredibly helpful. The steps are really easy and straightforward. This is a messy process, but it's also really easy, so I'll show you how I did it. The primary ingredient for this hair powder is cornstarch. Not flour, cornstarch. Though you can substitute other starches like potato, rice, or tapioca. You also need ground orris root, and that's it for the white hair powder. If you're doing the Mareschal powder, you'll also need ground clove, ground mace, and ground cinnamon. You can also use optional essential oils for scent, but I opted not to. As for supplies, you'll need a large bowl or pot, a second large bowl or pot, either a sifter or a sieve, and something to help mix things up. I needed to physically go to the store and buy this, but a kitchen scale will make everything a lot easier. And I got the last one! And, of course, you need the American Duchess Guide to 18th Century Beauty. The book has so much valuable information that goes beyond what I'm going to make, and it is absolutely worth buying. For the record, I'm not affiliated with American Duchess, and these videos are not sponsored by them. Everything here is just my full and free opinion, and any mistakes I make are my own. I also want to encourage you to buy the book, so I'm not going to say how much of each item you need. Okay, moving on. The white powder was incredibly easy to make. It was actually pretty foolproof, since the steps are just toss the ingredients in, give it a stir, and then shift it. Make sure you don't skip that last step though. It's important to keep the hair powder nice and light. On top of that, you want to get rid of anything that you might not want in your hair. I have no point of reference for hair powder, but this turned out exactly how I expected. Once I measured out some hair powder for the Mareschal powder, I popped the rest of the hair powder into an airtight container. After that, it was pretty much the same steps. Add the ingredients, mix it up, and shift it. Just so you know, I put links to the ingredients that I used in my description below, and what was unavailable from the vendors I originally bought it from, I tried to find elsewhere. So hopefully, if you decide to make this hair powder yourself, you'll be able to find the ingredients easily. And I hope you do decide to make it yourself, because I really can't overemphasize what an easy process this was. This was a fantastic first project to work on from the book. I know starting something outside your comfort zone can be difficult, but I've noticed that it's a lot easier, for me at least, to build up my confidence by working on the easier parts of a project before tackling the bigger, more exciting parts. Usually it means making a chemise or a petticoat. In this case, it meant hair powder. So the hair powder was incredibly easy to make, but how was it to use? I can't do a review video about testing the product, right? But first, if you made it this far in the video, first off, thank you. And feel free to give it a like and subscribe to my channel because I have 3 more American Duchess beauty reviews coming up. You know what? Just for fun, so I know you're watching, leave a comment below with your favorite time period. It could be because of the clothing, or the history, or the cars, or anything at all. I'm just curious, and it's always fun to see what people say. For the record, my favorite time period is the Victorian era. I love how much the fashions change, and I particularly love the bustle era. I love a good bustle dress. Anyway, let's see how past Mel does with the hair powder. I feel like my part is just a part of my hair now. Welcome to my bathroom. I don't think we've been in here yet, so that's always fun. I'm sorry if it's a little echoey in here, it is a bathroom. So, so now that I've made the hair powder, I thought it'd be fun to actually test it so you can see how easy or difficult it is to work with. So to pomade and powder your hair, you're gonna need your hair powder, a powder applicator, a comb, in this case a very cheap one, I think I bought this one for $1, and your pomatum. Now the book says to also have hair clips so you can clip away parts of your hair. I don't have any hair clips, so I'm just gonna use hair ties. There are a few steps I would recommend doing before you even start attempting pomading and powdering your hair. First off, I would recommend that you remove all jewelry. I've only pomaded and powdered my hair once before, but I left my wedding band on and I had regrets afterwards. So I would say remove all jewelry, especially ones that have any little nooks and crannies where the powder can get stuck in. Second, I would take a look at the area that you're planning to pomade and powder your hair, in this case, my bathroom. If there's a rug or anything like that, I would get it out of the way because it's going to get very messy. You may want to put something down to catch the powder that is going to get all over the place. Like a little drop cloth or a towel or something. In my case, I'm just going to sweep it all up when I'm done. Hopefully. You're also going to want to make sure your hair is all brushed out so that there's no knots or tangles. You also want to wear something that you'll be able to take off without putting it over your head. In this case, I'm going with my Hershey hoodie because I thought the dark color would make the powder stand out, and I thought it would be kind of fun to see just how much of a mess this makes. Alright, let's go! I originally thought this would be a daunting task, but I'm really surprised by how easy it is to pomade and powder hair. The key is to take your time and start small by sectioning out your hair. Once you look like a pampered show dog, it's time to break out the pomatum. The book said to scrape up a bit with the back of your thumbnail, melt it between your palms, and work it into your hair, working from the root downward. Then you repeat it until your hair looks like you just toweled it off after a shower. Onto the powder. It's as simple as loading your brush up with powder and applying it to your hair again from root to tip until your hair looks dry again. Next, you blend it all together by running a wide tooth comb through your hair. After that, it's just a matter of repeating the steps with that section as well as with the rest of your hair. It probably won't surprise you that the trickiest part was trying to take care of the hair at the back of my head. But I got it done, and now I'm still only halfway done. I should note that I did not make my pomatum. I bought it on Etsy, and I'll put a link in the description. Once I saw that the tallow and the lard had to sit in a bucket for 7 to 10 days, I decided it was just easier to support a small business instead. We have to pick our battles, right? Okay, I think I'm done. Now I'll probably do a little bit more powder once I'm done styling my hair, but for the most part, not bad. And this actually took probably a little bit less time than it usually takes to curl my hair, so it doesn't take that long, and I'm pretty happy with the results, and my hair feels huge. It might not look huge, but it feels big. But yeah, I think this was a success. Oh my goodness. I told you it gets messy. Look at my pants. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up, and I will see you next time for when I attempt one of the styles in the book. Bye! Look how gross my hands look.